All right, y'all. Ha ha! Come on! This is North Abuse No More, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse. With your host, Dr. and Evangelist K.O. Rich. How you all doing this Monday morning? Ha! This is Narcissistic Abuse No More, and I am your host, Dr. K.O. Rich. Thanks for tuning in today. Today, oh man, we have a lot that we're going to go through today, and I pray that you had a wonderful weekend, that it was stress-free, narcissistic-free, abuse-free, and that the remainder of this week will continue to be so as well. But if not, we're going to be talking about a few things today. And before we get started today, I want to let you all know some changes that are being made to the program pretty much, but not exactly for those who are on certain platforms listening. This will not affect you, but for those who are subscribed, or if you're getting what should I say, those I can't even think of the word right now, but the alerts for when the podcast airs, you might notice that you're getting some additional alerts for some of the other a couple of the other podcasts that I do, which is It Is Finished and Veterans in Christ, and those you can ignore unless you want to listen to those. I have combined the podcast, so instead of paying for separate ones, I've combined them. So they're still individual podcasts, but on Spreaker, you may notice that you're getting some additional alerts. So if you don't want to tune into those, just ignore those. But but Narc Abuse No More will still be every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now Friday I took a break. I had a lot to do and needed some rest and relaxation, so I did not air on Friday. However, we're back today on Monday. So sometimes you got to do that self-care, and I needed my own self-care on Friday. But I want to let you all know, when you go to the website, there's also some changes. So you can still type in Narc Abuse No More, but I'm going to be creating some additional pages, because as with the Spreaker, I'm also combining the website with the It Is Finished, the Veterans in Christ, and now the Narc Abuse No More. So you will notice some major changes with that, but I'm going to be adding some new materials, some new things on the website, and you will eventually see some new pages. So just bear with me. I'm also going to be trying to add the blog on there as well, because this is not going to be all the time, but periodically I will do a blog and put it on the written blog, which that's what a blog is, the written, unless you're doing a vlog, which is different. For Friday's podcast, we're going to be having Pastor Rebecca Craig, who has written a new book called Once Upon a Nightmare, and this is dealing with being married to a narcissist. This book is, she's going through a lot of different things when it comes to the challenges that she had in life, and then being married to a narcissist, as well as being a pastor and going through some various things with regards to even being in the church, when it came to being married to the narcissist. So we're going to have, have her on Friday. Again, her name is Pastor Rebecca Gregg, and I pray that you would tune in, because a lot of people within the church, or many of you may be married to a narcissist, and you don't know maybe how to handle that, or it's not being even discussed or talked about when it comes to different things as it pertains to that type of personality, which is today we're going to be talking about today's podcast. We're dealing with signs that you're in a narcissistic marriage. Signs that you're in a narcissistic marriage. And for those who have not, if you're not married, you want to make sure that you don't get involved with a narcissist. You don't want to marry a narcissist because it's better to be proactive than reactive. That means that I want to recognize what I am dealing with before I say I do, before I sign the dotted line, before I commit to this relationship and you're committing to a narcissist. Because the thing is, once you are committed and you're married to this narcissist, then it's a whole lot of it's a whole lot of trials that you're going to deal with when you are married to these type of individuals. So you want to make sure that you're proactive and not reactive. And speaking of which, sometimes when you're dealing with narcissists, it's hard to spot them in the beginning. So it takes time to know whether you're dealing with one. And one thing I would say is if you are dating someone, you want to make sure that you pray and ask for confirmation that this is the person that God has for you. Because once you are in it, is you don't want to go through a divorce. You don't want to go through the trials that will often maybe lead to that divorce. The emotional abuse and sometimes physical abuse and other things that can come with being with a narcissist. So when you understand what you're dealing with before you get into involved in this relationship, then you can be better prepared. So by understanding what narcissists are, how they operate, will help you in knowing and identifying them, because all the times they're not easy to spot. You might think this is the love of your life. You might think this is the best thing since chocolate cake. You might think, oh, I have met the man or the woman of my dreams, and find out that, as this author has said, once upon a nightmare, you found yourself in a nightmare. So, what exactly is narcissism? For those who may be tuning in for the first time, we're gonna go over what you need to know about narcissism. So, narcissism, as defined in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, this is the fifth edition. So, DSM-V. They define narcissism as a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a constant need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. And included in this, if a person has at least five of these traits, or meet five of the criteria that they set forth, then they would more than likely consider you as maybe having narcissistic personality disorder. Now, you will have to go to a psychiatrist, a licensed therapist, in order to get officially diagnosed. But the thing is, as the lay person, you can recognize many of these signs for yourself enough to say that, you know what, I may not be able to officially diagnose that person, but this person that I am dealing with has these type of traits, and therefore I refuse and will not be involved with this particular individual. Number one, they have a sense of self-importance. They have a grandiose view of themselves. They think that they're the center of the universe. They think that everything evolves around them. They will make everything evolve around them if they're able to. So they, with despite everybody being, there's billions of people in the world, they will make everything about them. They think that they're the center of everyone's universe, and everyone must evolve around them. So this is what we're talking about, having this grandiose view of themselves, this self-importance. Another thing is they have a sense of entitlement. They feel that, oh, I don't have to earn something. I don't have to work for something. It's my automatic right. I'm deserving of this. You have to bow down to me. You have to please me. You have to appease me. It's all about me. When you're dealing with a narcissist, it's me. It's never we. It's never us. It's never, well, how can we do things together? It's all about me and I. So they have this sense of entitlement. Have you ever had someone that feels as if, they show you that, oh, well, I'm deserving of this just because, not that I put any work in it, not that that I'm working towards something, not that I'm helping the team. It's all about me. So they have a sense of entitlement, that you owe this to me, that you have to do this for me, not that you're being nice to do something for them, or that you're being nice to even appease them. They feel that you owe it to them. Number three, they have a preoccupation with unlimited success, power, brilliance. So they have their own fantasy world that they have created, and they're occupied with that. They feel as if I'm going to be the successful one. This is not striving towards a goal. These people actually live in a fantasy world. Okay, so this is their preoccupation. They have a preoccupation with unlimited success and power. Another thing is they have this need for what we call narcissistic supply. So they have a constant need for praise. They have a constant need for admiration. They have a constant need for you to bow down to them, in a sense. They feel you need to sing their praises. Okay, so and you have, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a parent, whether it's a coworker, a boss, they feel that you have to sing their praises. Not that they're doing anything to even earn it, really. But they need that narcissistic supply. They're like crackheads, okay? And what am I talking about? I'm talking about they constantly have to shoot up with that crack. So you're dealing with a narcissist that needs to always shoot up with some admiration and some praise. And if you're not singing their praises, then they have a problem with you. Another thing is they have this what's called interpersonal exploitive behavior. They exploit other people, the people around them, the people in their relationships. They always have to exploit them for their own personal gain. Another thing is they lack empathy. They don't empathize with others. Now, don't get it confused with them doing nice things, because when a narcissist does nice things, oftentimes they're love bombing. Okay, they're doing nice things for the wrong reason, trying to gain loyalty points. And as soon as you cross their path, or go in veer in a different direction, then you will see the monster that comes out of them. So they have a lack of empathy. I'm going to say they actually act like a chameleon. They imitate, they blend in with their environment. So whatever they think people want them to portray, they will. Not that it's actually genuine. They don't empathize with other people. Again, why? Because it's all about me, I. They can't empathize. You can't empathize with someone when you're always thinking about yourself. It's always about, and again, be careful when you are even taking things. What I mean by that is allowing the narcissist to do things, or now allowing the narcissist to give things to you, because at that point they feel as if they own you. They feel as if you owe them, and therefore they will try to collect. And I'm not talking about tangible things. I'm talking about your loyalty points, or they feel as if because I've done X, Y, and Z, I have the right to abuse, misuse, manipulate, mistreat, and they may not say those things, but that's what's rolling around in their heads. Another thing is they are envious of other people. If you have other relationships, if you have other friendships, if they're envious of your friends, they're envious of family, they're envious of your coworkers, they're envious just of you having something outside of them, and they want to believe that others are jealous or envious of them. And someone, let me just say this: if anyone that's in their right mind does not want people to be jealous of them. They don't want people to be envious of them. Okay. You can't control that someone is, but you're not going to take joy in the fact that other people might be, or if they are. However, when you're dealing with a narcissist, they're in the center of their own universe, and they feel that everybody else wants something that they got. Everyone else is envious of them. Everyone else is jealous of them because they have something that no one else can get but them. At least this is in their own mind, okay? They feel like, oh, if I have a house, everybody's envious of my house. If I have this particular car, oh, everybody's envious of my vehicle. Not that everybody can't go get their own, but in their narcissistic mind, they think that other people are always jealous of them. Why? Because they want people to be envious and jealous of them. It makes them feel superior. It makes them feel in a warped sense, a sense of confidence. Okay, but in the reality of it, when people want someone else to be jealous of them, that means that you really don't feel confident in yourself. Because if you are confident enough within yourself, you don't have to compete with someone else. All right, you don't have to feel that others are competing with you. It doesn't give you any boost in your self-esteem just because someone else may be trying to compete or be jealous of you. But this is the mindset, the warped mindset of a narcissist. Another thing when you're dealing with narcissistic behavior is they have arrogant, and they have prideful behavior. A narcissist operates in pride. At the core of the narcissist, you can find pride. And what the Bible says, pride comes before the fall. So narcissists are very prideful. They never admit to anything. They never say, I'm sorry. Or even if they do say, I'm sorry, that is not really genuine. They'll find some reason, well, because you did A, B, and C, this is why I did X, Y, and Z. They will never admit that they are wrong about anything. Let me just say this: when it comes to narcissists, they will rather walk on coals of fire, walk over broken glass, than to admit that they are wrong about anything. So if you're thinking that the narcissist is going to call and say, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or in the real sense of having a true, genuine sense of repentance, and these are people that are hard for even the Holy Spirit to work with because they have prideful hearts. They don't have hearts of humility. And even if they do say, I'm sorry, it's not in a genuine sense most of the time. They're going to make some excuse as to, well, I treated you this way because you did this. They will always make you the problem. It's never them taking responsibility themselves. You are the problem. You are the one that's causing them to behave in the beastful manner that they're acting. And so therefore you will always find yourself in a deficit when you're dealing with these type of individuals. They are not for you. They're not on your side. They will never take responsibility. It's always someone else's fault. And even if they pretend to take responsibility, you can guarantee that in the side corner of their little demonic minds that they're still blaming you. Not until they fully submit to God. And this is one of the hard things when it comes to submission to the Lord, is because of their narcissistic mindset. They have a hard time submitting to anyone. Oh, they can fake the Christianese. Okay, they can fake it. All right, but the thing is, oftentimes it's not genuine. And this is why it is so important for when you are, for those, especially those who are going to church, Don't think that just because you meet somebody at church that they are the church. Okay. Just because you meet someone at a church doesn't mean that they're actually being the church. All right. Because you got some narcissists that are in your pulpits. All right. Many narcissists love positions of power. They love positions of control. They love to dominate. They love to manipulate. They love to use people as their puppets, and one of the ways that they do that is making sure that they get in power or control. This weekend, on Sunday, I got a chance to actually it was Saturday evening. I got a chance to watch Hitler, and it was this movie Hitler: The Rise of Evil. And if you've never watched it, it's a very good movie to watch, so you can actually see into the mind of this psychotic killer, And the thing is that when you're dealing with that type of narcissistic personality, that psychotic sociopath, whatever you want to call him, which is evil at the utmost core. These people do not really have feelings for others. Now, are all narcissist killers? No. But then, and while I'm talking about in the physical sense, they're not killers. But if you are living with them and you're around them enough, they will kill your spirit. They will chip away at you. They will chip away at your self-esteem. They will chip away at who you are, the essence of who you are. And so therefore it is important for you to recognize when you're dealing with narcissists. Sometimes, let me just say this, there are times when you have to back up from these individuals. I don't care who they are. They can be your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your pastor, your spouse, whoever it is. Because if you don't back away from them, they will destroy you. These people are dangerous. And when I'm not talking about all of them are physically dangerous, but then it can have a physical effect on you where it starts with emotional wise, and then you wind up even having physical effects, maybe high blood pressure, maybe stress, anxiety, worry, panic, all these things, that PTSD, things that come about by dealing with these individuals. And let me just say this, just because you're a Christian doesn't mean that you have to take abuse from anyone. We were not meant to be anybody's emotional or verbal or physical punching bag. And a lot of these narcissists are emotionally manipulators. They're verbally combative, and they're sometimes even physically destructive. So therefore, you have to take care of yourself. You have to know that they are who they are. You have to know what they are. You have to know that they're not going to change more than likely unless they fully submit to God. And you have some that call themselves Christians. They got the narcissistic spirit. We also call that the Jezebel spirit. They have a Jezebel spirit about them. We know in the Bible that Jezebel killed the prophets. The Jezebel spirit will kill you in your ministry. This spirit, and it's not just female, male or female, the Jezebel spirit, we're talking about a spirit. This spirit will kill you in ministry. They will kill you in your personal life. They will kill you emotionally. They will kill you financially. They will kill you physically. They will, and some of them, they're just, the spirit of Jezebel is no good to anyone. And so therefore, if you wind up being married to this type of individual, you're in for I'm gonna say a heck of a time with even being or even being in the, I'm gonna put it like this. Your self esteem is going to suffer. You're always going to be doubting yourself. They're also, be careful with them spiritually, because they will have you thinking that they're on the road to heaven and you're on the road to hell just because you don't go along and get along with them. This is why it is so important to understand what you're dealing with when you're dealing with these type of master manipulators. And yes, they are master manipulators. Now, when it comes to narcissistic personality disorder, you need a mental health professional to properly be able to diagnose these type of people. But the problem is with that is While some may go to a mental health professional, most do not. So what happens is that counselors wind up counseling or trying to treat those who have been victimized by these individuals rather than the individuals themselves. And why is this? Because they don't see the need for them to get any help. I'm talking about the narcissists. The narcissists normally don't see that they need help. They think that everybody else around them needs the help, but they refuse to look in the mirror. They can scrutinize others up under the microscope. They can look in the distance through a telescope to find out your very flaw, what they think is a flaw in you, but they will never turn the scrutiny on themselves in the same manner that they judge others. You know, and the Bible talks about judge not, that ye not be judged to that same measure. And now Jesus was talking about hypocrisy. The narcissist operates in hypocrisy. They can find everything wrong with everyone else, but never look at themselves. They never say that maybe I am doing things. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm doing something to someone else. So they will turn it on you. Why? Because they can't handle the truth. As that movie with Tom Cruise and what was his name? Tom Cruise, and I can't think of the other guy's name, but he was on a witness stand. You can't handle the truth, okay? And that's what's wrong with the narcissist. They can't handle the truth about their monstrous ways, about how they harm people, about how they damage people, about how they leave people emotionally crippled. And until you understand what you're dealing with, see, once you understand what you're dealing with, then you can have a better take, and then you can guard yourself well and be better prepared. But if you don't know the enemy's tactics, then you will be defeated every time. This is why it's so important to know their tactics so that you will not be defeated by these creatures. Okay? Yes, they are emotional bullies. They are creatures. They are emotional vampires. They will suck the life out of you if you don't know how to deal with them, what to recognize in them, and know how not to deal with them. And I have found that the best way to deal with a narcissist is not to deal with them as best as possible. Go low contact or no contact. I don't care who you are. You have to put your own emotional health above the nutcase of the narcissist, okay? And I'm just keeping it real because these people will damage you. And if you don't arm yourself against them, then you will find yourself crippled in their battlefield. And you're trying to crawl out, and every time you crawl, you're stepping over a mine. Be careful when you're dealing with these type of individuals. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be. And so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. And if by chance that special place that you've been dreaming of leads you to a lonely place, find your strength in
And that is The Greatest Love of All by the late Whitney Houston. So I want to go over some signs that you can recognize for if you are in a narcissistic marriage. And you can go to, for today's podcast, verywellmind.com, verywellmind.com. Number one, you don't feel connected. Uh, when you talk to your spouse, you're feeling as if it's just you're not able to actually have a conversation, or the conversation is all about them. It's all about what they've done, their achievements, what they're doing in life, but it's never about the two of you. They talk to you maybe when it's only convenient for them, but they never ask, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, how things affect you. So you don't feel connected with that particular individual. The next thing is you feel manipulated. Your spouse may make threats in the relationship. If you don't do A, then I'm going to do B. You get the sense that if you don't do what they want, then you won't be happy. You're in constant arguments. They're trying to control you. They're trying to manipulate you in order to get what you want, what they want. And so oftentimes you find yourself just going along with what they want you to do, even though you don't really want to, just so you can avoid the argument of what, or their wrath, for example. So you go along even though you don't agree with what they're saying and or doing. Number three, you don't feel good enough. When you're dealing with narcissists, nothing is ever good enough with a narcissist. So they will often have you with feelings of inadequacy. Regardless of what you've done, regardless of how you've tried to maybe give to the relationship or whatever, you're doing your all, you're doing your best, but they make you feel as if you need to still do more. There's nothing that's good enough for them. So therefore, you may find yourself where you just completely drained because the relationship is draining you. You may tend to hide things from your friends and family because you're ashamed of how things are going in your life because of this narcissist. You try to make excuses for them and cover up the things that they do. But the thing is that when you're dealing with a narcissist, nothing will ever be good enough for that narcissist. You've lost touch with the things that you used to enjoy because of the narcissist. Number four, you are constantly being gaslit. Um, the narcissist, they will make you doubt your reality. So therefore, they you know that they did something. You call them out on it, and they will say, "No, that didn't happen. No, that's not what took place." Or they will say, "Well," they'll make you think, "Well, it's your fault because they did something that was abusive or something that wasn't right." So they will try to have you doubt your own self, knowing that they are the ones that did whatever. This is a form of psychological abuse. It's a form of control in the relationship, and this is common when you're dealing with a narcissist, especially when you try to call them out on something. They will twist the events of what really happened and have you second guessing yourself as if you're gone crazy, as if something that your reality or your memory isn't correct, knowing good and well that they have twisted the events. Another thing, you may be in this relationship with this narcissist and you find yourself trying to avoid certain conversations because every conversation that you have with them ends in an argument. No matter how calm you try to be, no matter how hard you try to watch what you say, is always something. Narcissists always try to push your buttons. And let me just say this: if you're not married to one, the best way to not deal with this is to not deal with it. All right. So when you're dealing with it, when you're married to these people, it is so hard it's always an argument. It's nothing that you can ever say or do that's right with them. You will always find yourself walking on eggshells around these type of individuals. And this is the making and the recipe for a miserable marriage if you're married to a narcissist. So you want someone that you can be open with, that you can have open dialogue with, that you don't feel like I have to walk on eggshells every time I say something. But when you're dealing with these type of individuals, they will push your buttons, and then they do it deliberately to try to make it seem as if something's wrong with you. So when you finally blow a roof or blow a top off, then they are satisfied so that they can say, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is be careful with the mind games that narcissists play. Another thing, you feel responsible for everything. Narcissists, they think that everything is everyone else's fault. And as we mentioned earlier, they never take responsibility for their own behavior, for their own actions. Everything will always be your fault. So you won't get an apology from them. They will try to flip the script and make it seem like you're doing something wrong. They will always blame you. So if something goes wrong, it's your fault. Even if they're to blame, they're going to flip it on you because after all, they're going to make sure that their hands are clean and that you're the one that wind up looking dirty. The next thing is you're walking on eggshells. You find yourself walking on eggshells when you're dealing with a narcissist. You never know what bag that they're going to come out of on any given day. They may be on a positive mood on one day, and then that same day the script can flip. One thing in the book of James, the Bible says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And when you're dealing with narcissists, you are dealing with instability, okay? They're unstable. So therefore, one minute they can be singing your praise, and then the next minute they're throwing daggers at you. This was in. This brings to mind about the story of King Saul. King Saul had defied God, and the Spirit of God left him, and so therefore, if the Spirit of God is not in you, then guess what is replaced with the spirit of the devil? Okay, the demonic spirit. So he had demons, demonic spirit that was on him, and so what happened was, he would, his men suggested that he get someone who can play music in order to soothe his spirit. So the music had an effect on him. So they got David. Okay, this is way before David was ever king or anything. And so David would play the harp for him. But then David became the object of Saul's jealousy, and so Saul started trying to kill him. He would throw daggers at him where David had to run for his life. The thing is that had David done anything wrong to Saul? No, no. But because of Saul's own jealousy, because of his own demons that he was dealing with, then he had to flee for his life. Why? Because Saul would go into this narcissistic rage. So whenever you're dealing with narcissists, you are always going to be tending to walk on eggshells to avoid their narcissistic rage. This is like when we talk about narcissistic rage, you're talking about bouts of anger that comes from the narcissist. Think about the Incredible Hulk. For those who remember the Incredible Hulk, whether you're talking about the one from the 70s series or the updated series, okay? When Dr. Banner, when he would change into this green monster whenever he got angry or whatever. It was an uncontrollable anger that when someone did something, he became angry, then he would immediately turn into this Hulk, into this monster. But guess what? That's what the narcissist is like. When you're dealing with their rage, they go into what we might call an Incredible Hulk state, and therefore their rage overtakes them. Another thing that's important to when you're dealing with a narcissist, you need to be careful of the charm. And this is in the beginning. Be careful about their charm. Narcissists don't normally come out showing themselves as narcissists. They come out as being confident, maybe well accomplished, maybe they may seemingly have it all together. But until you truly start getting to know them, then their true colors come out. Other people normally don't see the monstrous side of a narcissist. It's always, oh, this person is loving. Oh, this person is kind. Oh, this person is giving. Oh, this is a good woman. This is a good guy. You don't normally see them, but then as soon as you get involved with them, it flips, okay? They do just enough to set the stage, okay? We're going to call this acting. They're setting the stage, all right? So you're seeing this portrayal of this motion picture, this great actor or this great actress, and they're giving you the star, they're giving you the movie of a lifetime, all right? So how many of you, when you go to the movies and you're paying so you can get, so that you can see some good acting? Well, that's what you're going to get from the narcissist. You're going to get what you pay for. They're going to show you the best of themselves, but underneath, as soon as they feel that they can let their hair down, whether they've married you, whether you've had children with them, when they feel relaxed enough that they feel like they got you, all right, then that's when you truly see who they really are. Again, most people don't see them for who they are. So therefore, they're fooled by them. They're fooled by their charm. They're fooled by them having what we may call the X factor, that likability trait. They're fooled by showing people the I'm going to call it the softer side of Sears. Remember back in the day? Remember back in the day when you had the commercials that when Sears used to be known as basically for men, the power tools and all of that. Well, then Sears came out. Come see the softer side of Sears, okay? And they start having things where blankets and home furnishings, and so it became more than just about, oh, this is for men. They wanted to get all geographics, all demographics or whatever, the men and the women. And so therefore you start seeing them launch certain commercials such as the softer side of Sears. Well, let me just say this. when you when you're dealing with narcissists, you may think you're getting the softer side of Sears, but you're actually getting the full blown this is not dealing with sex per se, but you're getting this toxic I'm not going to say toxic masculinity, because I don't believe in that, but the thing is you're getting this toxic person that is not really showing you who they really are, and you really won't know about their control and manipulative ways and their domineering character until you're actually involved with them. Now some of them you can see just by the way that they talk, and so you be like, now you ain't saying the right things. But then a lot of them and most of them, you don't see them for who they are. All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Stormy seas, I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
And that is You Raise Me Up by Josh Groban. I'm sorry, Groban. All right, we are running out of time, and I just want to go through a few things. You, when you start realizing you're dealing with a narcissist, then you can see through their charm. Okay, you can see their true colors. You may be feeling criticized constantly by the narcissist, and one thing again they're good at being critical of everything about you, but they would never turn that image or that mirror on themselves to view themselves. You may feel like your needs are being ignored because you're always attending to theirs, but then they're not helping you to do the same. They're not attending to you. So it's often one sided. You may find that your family may have warned you or is warning you, or sometimes they're oblivious to what's going on about it. It's always good to, especially if you're in the dating stage, to get a third eye, a third party that can see things that maybe you cannot see. Another thing is you may be dealing with financial issues because you're dealing with someone who is financially irresponsible. They don't understand the concept of paying the bills and holding down a job and bringing income in. So therefore, they're expecting things that you can't give. Another thing is they may give you the silent treatment. This is a way to control you, a way they want you to beg for their attention, beg for affection. And again, the narcissists love to play mind games with you. This is someone you might say, well, can they change? Narcissists is not that they can't; they aren't willing to change. And you, in order to change something, you have to admit that something is wrong. And oftentimes when you're dealing with a narcissist, they're not going to admit to anything. Oh, they sometimes will make promises, but then you have to be careful even with their promises because narcissists are not known for keeping promises. And when they break those promises, guess who they're going to blame? They're going to blame it on you. Well, I would have did X, Y, and Z, but because of you, everything is because of you. You did this. You did that. And therefore they never take responsibility for what they do. So what do you do when you are in a relationship with a narcissist? One thing you can do is to seek counseling. Go to a therapist. Go to someone that can help you, a support group or something that can help you with it. You might say, well, can me and my narcissist go to counseling together? Of course you can, but you got to be very careful because not all therapists are equipped to counsel narcissists. And some of them may be narcissists themselves. And by the time you get done, then you might wind up being, being being victimized or re-victimized from that person. However, there are some good therapists that are out there, so check them out. Now, do your research, see the reviews, see what other people have to say about them, so that especially if you're dealing with someone that's a forensic psychiatrist, or they know how the minds of these people work, then you would be better off, because the thing is that they won't, the narcissist, even if they go to counseling with you, they will not be able to fool the therapist. So you definitely want to make sure that you're going to someone who is equipped to be able to recognize narcissists for who they are and not be charmed by them. Maintain boundaries. It is so important that you keep boundaries, because if you don't keep boundaries, then you will always fall prey to the narcissist. Make sure to stay calm and assertive. You don't want them to be able to put you in a mindset that's going to have you get angry, and then therefore they got what they want, that transfer of energy. Keep records of conversations. Write down things. If they say, okay, well, whatever X, Y, and Z, then write it down so that you can refer back to it. Yes, on this particular day you said that you were going to do X, Y, and Z or whatever, and have it written down. That helps you to reestablish and know that you're not going crazy, and then it also puts it back onto them that what they said did actually take place. Another thing, at work, do not gossip with them. Do not even vent with them. And one thing I want to say, when you're dealing with narcissists, remember your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say can and will be used against you in the court of the narcissist. Do not tell them everything. Narcissists will take what you give them and they will twist it. I don't care how innocent it is. Be careful of what you tell the narcissist. Now, when you're married, it's kind of hard to do that, but I'm just going to say that this is why we're talking about being proactive instead of reactive. Last but not least, learn all you can about narcissism so that you can recognize it and not fall prey to their manipulative tactics. Narcissists play mind games, and so therefore the only way that you can ward yourself off of these individuals is not to play the game. And in order to not play the game, you have to know the game and know the rules to the game so you can opt out of playing it. All right, we are about to here. I pray that today's podcast has been a blessing to you and that you will know your feelings do matter. This is Dr. K.L. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, helping you to admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse. Until next time.